5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Endzone to Endzone. Today we have just a few more topics to talk about. They are all quarterback topics, which is like the most important position in the NFL, according to most people. But these topics are kind of about the NFC quarterbacks only, because the AFC quarterbacks are, they're not really talked about. Plus, they're kind of most of the best AFC quarterbacks are like old, so we don't really talk about them as much. But these three quarterbacks, they are relatively young, and they still have a long way in their careers to play. So there's no old quarterback. Now we'll be covering these guys in their own topics, not as a book, and I hope you guys enjoy. So I want to get started with another update on Russell Wilson and his contract situation. So as you guys know, Russell Wilson gave the Seattle Seahawks a deadline, his own deadline, and he pretty much told the Seahawks that if you guys don't get my deal done by April 15th, which has passed, guys, but if you guys don't get that done, then I will only play out my final year with you guys, and I will not re-sign with you guys if you guys do not get my deal done. He gave them an ultimatum, which is very interesting, and it comes from the fact that most of the time it's the NFL owners and teams that give players ultimatums and not the players themselves. So it is kind of cool that Russell Wilson is pushing this whole mindset of player power, right? And in a way, I like it. I like it that these players are finally sticking up for themselves, and it has to start somewhere. And Russell Wilson really made this thing a thing now, because he told them, hey, I want a deal done by April 15th, and if you guys don't get it for me, I will play my contract out, but I ain't coming back. And so April 15th came, and they got a deal done. The Seahawks signed Russell Wilson back to a contract that makes him the richest quarterback, not just quarterback, but player. He is inked to earn about 5 years, and this is considering his last one. So this is kind of like an extension, right? This doesn't work like a new contract. It's an extension. So obviously his final year, he's guaranteed $5 million, but they're signing him. They extended his contract by another 4 years. So now his contract is a total of 5 years for about, over 100, I think like $50 million or something like that. He is getting a $65 million signing bonus, which is huge for for players today, because really now the NFL has kind of pulled back on amount of guaranteed bonuses that they give to players, but he's getting $65 million guaranteed through that signing bonus. But if you total up with that $5 million salary, guaranteed salary of this final 2019 season, he's getting about $70 million. As the new contract rolls in, he's going to be making $35 million per year for the next 4 years, in a way, right? Now, what does this mean? Well, it means that the Seahawks have to draft really well now. You guys all know that successful teams come from drafting well, come from having a good core of players around your stars, because football is not like any other sport. Football has 11 men on offense and defense. Football requires all those 11 men to be playing at very high level to succeed. You want to win Super Bowls, you have to keep your pieces around. So Russell Wilson no longer will be able to have certain players around him. What do I mean by that? He will no longer have the luxury of playing with a star-studded defensive lineup team. It's just not going to happen. There's just not enough money. There's not enough salary. There's not enough cap going around. The Seahawks, they made his contract where they gave him a lot of money up front, and as the final year of his extension comes around, it does make it a little easier. But the part that I feel that is very interesting in how Russell did this was he was able to get them to sign a contract that states he is not tradable, which is very interesting, guys, because as you guys know, a lot of times what teams do is when a player is either not performing or becoming a distraction to the team, they trade him away. And if by Russell Wilson asking for a non-tradable contract, it gives him that exclusive power that the team cannot get rid of him without taking penalties. So it is going to be very interesting how these future contracts are going to work, because he's kind of set a new precedent in the NFL contracts. He's given the players new power. Good players, right? Because it's only the great players that get these good contracts, and he's giving them new power of saying, hey, I want this. You guys should really give me that too. Just because, I'm not the owner, that doesn't mean you guys can't abuse your power and not give me what I want. So, I like it. I think it's a total win for Russell Wilson. Very happy to see him stay in Seattle. And, although this means that he doesn't have a lot of room left for a great defense or just a lot of great players on his team to help him. What this does mean, though, is that he truly believes in himself that he can do it and take them to the Super Bowl again. So it's going to be interesting to see how things pan out for the Seahawks, but I'm totally happy for him. He's paid his due. As you guys do know, for me, I wouldn't pay him that. I just don't feel that he puts up the numbers or he puts up the impact enough for me to warrant him that much money, because the system works really well, and the guy, he is a smart player, but I don't think that he is worth all that money. But still, congratulations to Russell Wilson. Now, as you guys know, I told you guys I was going to be talking about quarterbacks. Alright, this is an exclusive quarterback episode. So, my second quarterback I'm talking about is now about Carson Wentz. As you guys know, last season Carson Wentz came back from a torn ACL, and then he played majority of the season, and around the same time as he got injured the 2 seasons ago, Carson Wentz got injured again. If Carson Wentz gets hurt one more time, if I'm the Eagles, I'm not signing him back. I'm looking for a new quarterback. One, because Tua Tagovailoa is going to be coming out to the draft. There's even a chance that I forget his name. It's not Trevor Lawrence. Maybe it is. I don't know. But the quarterback for Florida. He is not Florida, for Clemson. He is also. Is it Clemson? one of those. He is also coming. So, if I'm the Eagles, I'm like, you know what? If Carson gets hurt one last time, we'll pick up his 5th-year option and we'll trade him so that we can get our quarterback, because we want to make sure we get a quarterback that we can work with, that is durable. Because, dude, like for the Eagles, you cannot have another Nick Foles behind him. That's just the way it is. So I know that it sucks. I don't mean to say bad things about a person. I do believe that Carson Wentz will recover, but seeing as his trend, right? Because I'm a big guy. When I look at stuff like this, I'm really big on trends. And for him, he's really, the way he trends is he plays hard, then he gets hurt, and his hurt is always severe. So I just don't think you want to invest, because he's not going to get paid chump change. The guy is going to get paid Russell Wilson money, which means, are you really going to pay a man $35 million if he gets hurt at the end of the season and he's not even there to take you to the Super Bowl? So you have to always remember that. And if I'm the Eagles, I'll be wary of that. I'll let that be somebody else's problem in a way. But Carson Wentz, definitely hope he comes back. That is just kind of like a quick update about him. He's healing up. He's feeling good. But hopefully he'll recover and he will be able to make a comeback. Alright, so last of the 3 quarterbacks I'm going to be discussing is another NFC East quarterback. His name is Dak Prescott. That's right. So as you guys know, there's been a lot of buzz about Dak Prescott and his contract dispute with the Dallas Cowboys. Why? Well, because Dak Prescott is on his final year. He is not a first round pick, so he doesn't have like a 5th-year option. He is a second round pick, and so his contract is really cheap. Now they've gotten a huge return on his cheap contract. But what makes this contract dispute become very interesting spurs from a quote that Stephen Jones, the son of Jerry Jones, said on a radio. Now, obviously, I'm not going to play the audio because that'll just kind of go against copyright rules. So I'm not going to play the audio. But what I will say is that he pretty much said that Dak Prescott should take a hometown discount. And when I say hometown discount, I put quotes around that. A hometown discount to stay on the team to win Super Bowls. Here's a silly part, and I agree with what a lot of criticism about that statement that was made. There's a guy like Shannon Sharp on Undisputed. He said that Stephen Jones is preempting an attack on Dak Prescott by saying that. He's essentially saying, if Dak wants to win Super Bowls, be a good guy, take a discount. Don't ask for a lot of money, because if you do, you're a bad guy. You don't want to win Super Bowls. You're just me. That's complete BS. For as much as I always say that great teams win, the teams that win Super Bowls, they win because they develop team. They develop team chemistry. They have a lot of great players on that team, and they work well, right? So I say that, but I would never say that no NFL player doesn't deserve the money that they should get. Now, you guys got to hear me out though. I don't believe Dak deserves $35 million like Russell Wilson. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. Dak doesn't deserve money. He doesn't deserve to be paid like Aaron Rodgers. Okay, he deserves to be paid a middle of the pack type of deal, $90 million, something like that. He's not a legit top 5 quarterback in the league, so I don't see why he should get paid that much money if he's searching for that much money. Now, if he's not, then obviously the Dallas Cowboys are going to be able to keep him for a decent price. And the reason why I say that is because the thing about Dak Prescott is he's kind of like in the same situation as Russell Wilson. They have talent, but the system allows them to look really good. And I just feel like these guys, they're that guy like Dak Prescott doesn't bedazzle enough to be paid that much money. And if he wants to win Super Bowls, yes, he should take a hometown discount. But to be part of the ownership side as a Stephen Jones, it is very, very annoying and very, very dumb for him to come out and make those statements, because he goes out and makes those statements. It makes it where he divides the player from the team, and Dak Prescott can literally say, well, if that's the case, then another team will be willing to pay me that much money. I'll just go to another team. Think about this, guys. If Dak holds out, think about it. If Dak holds out, plays his final year, doesn't sign back with the Cowboys because the Cowboys want to give him only $90 million, right? And he's like, no, I want 135, right? I want 140. Well, guess who might be able to do that for him next year? The New York Giants. Yeah. If the New York Giants pay him, he'll literally go onto a team that has a really good running back and who've had high draft picks for the past 2 to 3 years. So he can be in a very good situation. Also, he's going to be in the Big Apple, so he's going to get paid lots of money. He has have a lot of endorsements, and he's going to be able to play his ball. Gets to play against the Dallas Cowboys. That type of deal. So, I know that Dak wants to get paid. He obviously did say that he wasn't looking to be like a Tom Brady, to take, and obviously what does that mean? Well, to take discounts, right? And so it's just stuff like that where obviously Dak Prescott, you just really look at it, okay? He's not making millions of dollars from the team. Like, they're seriously giving him trash money, and they're getting back a good amount of work. So obviously for an organization that's great, but for a player that's not. Dak Prescott's killing his body out there. He's not even getting paid a dime versus a guy like Kirk Cousins. Hell, Ryan Fitzpatrick's like making more money than him. That's all you need to know. So definitely Dak Prescott deserves to get paid. He shouldn't take a hometown discount. He should take the most that the Dallas Cowboys can give him. Literally. Not maybe, but literally. But he should literally be paid millions of dollars. He deserves that money. But now, again, chances are you're not going to win Super Bowls. Being paid millions, being paid that much, because you won't be able to put in money towards the other guys. But what the trend has been lately is front loading. You guys remember when I talked about DeMarcus Lawrence's contract and how it was kind of like panning out, right? If DeMarcus Lawrence is going to get paid tons of money up front, then Dak Prescott should get paid tons of money a little bit later. Then they can also work that into Ezekiel Elliott's contract, Amari Cooper's contract. So Dak Prescott deserves his due, but I don't believe he should be paid as a top 5 money, and I think it's a really cheap move by what Stephen Jones is doing by going out there preempting shit, saying things like, oh yeah, if he wants to win Super Bowls, he should take a hometown discount. No, that's baloney. Okay, he's taking shots at him, unnecessary shots that could potentially drive a wedge between Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. And that's a wrap, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Endzone to Endzone. Keep looking at the NFL because you know I will. And as usual, always hit the like button, subscribe, ring that bell so when I post, you guys will get it as well. And comment again if you guys do want me to talk about certain topics and stuff, and I'll definitely look into them, talk to them. And I'll see you guys next week.